I've seen some photos with people interacting during the band's presentations with paintings, ritual stuff, and without some clothes and with some paintings on the body. So is this pattern is this a pattern on your performance, your live performances?
True. We try to bring the theater element with the music.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could call it visuals. For each performance, we have a theme regarding the set list and the song's theme. We bring a ritual performer, which they really perform ritual on a stage with us. Some of them include blood and hooks, some cutting, some, you know, they have the different perspective of human.
Mm-hmm.
So they are basically nude with different costumes, and they try to represent another part of the human, which we talk about dark love and the dark depth part of the this attachment, which is anatta, but anatman, but we see it sometimes in different way, which the civilization or religions abuse us. So this performance and motives which designed and choreographic through this history and story. And sometimes include prayers, the worshiping mood, which I mean we can talk about later, or the hitting themselves, flagellations. And these are part of the lamination and mourning rituals which the humans do through the connection of love.
Okay.
And it could divide it to love of itself or herself, himself, which could interpret as the ego, or love for the biggest concept. Sometimes we refer it to God or goddesses, or refer it to another entity, which in Satanism, some part we refer to as an entity, which is a new development of that's also we can talk about later. I don't want to confuse with this term, but each performance has a meaning and has a different action and choreography. So we mostly have the ritual performers to do the rituals, and some time to time we choose the people who has this knowledge already, and we ask them to bring those specific ritual.
Okay.
Which in some occult part is forbidden to show it in the public. But we have also some terms. We send performers to the countries, like ancient countries, to go to the temple, get the technique, study that, and bring it back to us on a stage. So we have these both terms. We use the person who has experience, and we ask them for a specific ritual, or we send the person who has interest to same temple to get the degree on it and come back and perform with us. That's the whole concept.
Okay. Wow. Really interesting. Okay, now, which are your metal influences as a musician?
What was the question?
Which are your metal music influences as a musician?
Wow. Basically, I'm too much into folk music because it's come from the history and it's come from the narrative part of the humans. You know, for me, it's so valuable because that's like a story, you know, they're telling the story and it's narration. I'm really into those from the folk from all over the world. That's part of my study.
Of your studies.
And for example, when I see a metal band, or specifically in doom metal band, play a song, they're referring to some of these roots. That's the interesting part for me.
Okay.
They really catch my attention. And regard the lyrical theme, there's a notation and scales in the music. So as I told before, each region has a different taste and color It's like a flavor, you know, we use in a food. So each region has the beauty. So when the band refer to that roots, that's really interesting for me. And time to time, I hear randomly from different countries, they do this. I mean, quality for me does not matter. Lighting on a show is not matter. The concept for me is really strong. You know, I'm looking for I mean, in another hand, we are trying to bring a concept up. We are not technical band. We are not, I mean, in modern terms, there are many, you know, layers to have a specific band notification, but we are not doing that. We try to bring the concept, you know, the flavor. And who brings that, that's really interesting for us.
Okay, good. Okay, now I have a situation that I ask everyone who is interviewed on Matters Law, okay? So, this is a situation. You were a bad guy, got in trouble, and had life imprisonment as a sentence, and you can have nothing with you but 3 albums that you can listen for the rest of your life because one of the guards of the prison is a nice guy and gave you them as a gift. So, which albums would you choose and why?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really different question.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one is one, if I don't ask the people, the fans, the people who are watching Matters a Lot, they get like, oh no, I want to know this about this question.
Well,
the classic.
I'm not sure about the album names because I don't have it in my mind, but the band called Void of Silence.
Okay.
That's get my really attention. The way they have a perspective from the world. Another artist I could call My Dying Bride, which is Godfather. And North, Nortt, which is really down tempo, painful music, slow. So these 3 I could remember now because I'm listening to the album. They are like a role model of the. I'm not talking about technique. I'm talking about feeling.
Yeah.
You know, they give me that feel which is ancient, which is old.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. And to finish our interview, would you like to leave a message to your fans or who are watching or listening to us?
Sure. I don't know what to say. If you like the music, support it. And I mean, the duty I feel, which I'm expecting for each fan or each people have it, is dig more. Forget the shallow surface. We are not simple entity. We are really complicated. So you need to be really complicated to go more deep and find your path, which in other songs we call it inner silence, and which we are as a practitioner of Buddhism, we go really deep, and the beauty we find is inner silence. And sometimes harshly we could bring it on a stage or in album, but it's come out from the inner point of silence, which is nothing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Good. All right. So thanks again, Magus, for the interview. Really was really different, a different, interesting interview for me. Really. Thank you so much. And thank you all for watching. And yeah, stay happy.
Stay heavy.